The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
All right, everyone. I would like to welcome you back to another KevCAM night class tonight. Tonight, have Steve Walsh helping out with any questions or concerns that come along the way. Steve, are you with us?
I am. Good evening, everybody. Sorry. Steve Welch here, and happy to see you in the session.
And as well as Greg Payton to help make sure that I'm not missing anything for you guys as well. So, Greg, are you with us?
Yes, I am. Good evening, everybody.
All right. Well, I see a ton of new names in here, which is great to see. So I'll kind of go over the housekeeping housekeeping stuff first. So all these night classes are obviously going through GoToWebinar. That does put everybody in mute just to eliminate any background noise, and then as well as they are being recorded for you guys. Now, if you guys do have questions, definitely type those in there, and Steve will stop me in my tracks and read them off for you guys. These classes are completely laid back, and so feel free to ask questions right away. With these night classes, they're solely dedicated just for you guys, so you just let us know what you have questions on or what you'd like to see, and we will get those addressed for you right away. And for those of you guys that are wondering about a different night class that you may have missed out on, you guys can go to the SolidCAM.com and click on webinars and make sure you're on English, sorry. And go to webinars, and then you can click on the KevCAM, and then right here where it says miss the last class, it will actually take you directly over to SolidCAM University YouTube, and you can see all the class lineup in there. So inside here is a ton of videos on how to do pretty much everything inside our software. So any questions, just let us know. All right, and then one other thing, hopefully everybody is extremely healthy and not going through this, but Steve, maybe you want to kind of talk on this.
Yeah, I was going to say I'll chime in on this. You know, we had a meeting, everyone, a week ago Monday, kind of when the corona thing really kicked up, and said, what could we do to potentially help out? This was a general email we did. Went out to, I think, everybody in our database, but really proud of the fact that, you know, when we analyzed it, it was how can we help people through a really hard time? So, you know, if you're with us now and would, you know, be sent home to work, we can offer temporary licenses literally at no charge. We're looking at some free contract programming for people involved in the medical industry, or, you know, working on parts to help others get a cure to this pandemic. Kevin and his team and Greg are working some later hours if, again, if you're working overtime to maybe on a mission critical medical situation. We're doing some, I think Kevin is going to ramp up his KevCAM classes. We're doing some daily webinar web-based training. And then, you know, if you're stuck at home and really want to get better with the software, you can look at Kevin's YouTube channel, and then free certifications are available for, you know, after you've gone through the classes, you can take the certification test. Something nice to go back to the boss and say, hey, you know, I wasn't just sitting on the couch watching TV. I was really had my head down trying to get better with the software. So again, kind of something that I think speaks to what this company is built around, and it's not, you know, all about money and selling software. We really want to try to help our customers and potential customers in any way we can. So if anybody is interested in this, please email Kevin. We can get this email out to you for sure.
Yeah, that'd be great. And just so everybody has my email, but my mouse isn't working on me, I'm going to put that right now in the chat. And if you guys are shopping, like I said, or like Steve said, you know, SolidCAM as a family, we really like to help you guys out as much as we can. So if you guys are running across where you guys are swamped, busy doing stuff, and you would like to pawn that off to another shop that isn't as busy right now, with what's going on, definitely just let me know and I can make those contacts as well. So, all right.
Good call.
Let's get into so what we're going to be covering is what's new in 2020. And we're going to be kind of going through the what's new in 2020 for the next several weeks now, just because they've added quite a bit of stuff in there. Now, a lot of this stuff that is in here is all because of you guys, suggestions that you have put in there, as well as, ideas and stuff like that. So kind of going back to that SolidCAM family, it's not corporate making any decisions on what needs to be changed and added. It is all based off of you guys. So any feedback that you guys have, let us know, because we'll definitely get those implemented for you into the program. Now, this first one right here that I'm going to be talking about is actually a suggestion. And for those of you guys that are a regular for the night class, you know that I always pick on Ronnie Kidder. And unfortunately, Ronnie's not here, and this was actually his idea. So what he came across is when he did a pocket operation, and he wanted to come back and use a separate tool to do that pocket operation, there was no way to do that except for he would have to make one roughing pass or do a roughing pass right down to size. So what they've done in 2020 for you guys is they've added a finish only for the wall, finish only for the floor, as well as a finish only for just the wall and the floor in the pocket operation. So I'll kind of show you what I mean here. So this one, just opening up a standard pocketing operation, and I'm using a high feed face mill to get in there and hog out the material. But as we know, those high feed mills usually don't leave us the best finish, especially on the wall. The floor usually do, but not so much on the wall. So in the technology section is where they've changed that for you. And now we have the option, like I said, to do finish wall only, finish floor only, or finish the wall and floor only. So let's say, kind of like I was talking about here, is if we wanted to do, rough this out and then come back with a completely separate end mill. So I'm just going to make a quick copy of what we did there. Switch this to our finishing tool. So we're using a 3/8 bull nose. So in the data, they have also added in here a finish feed for X and Y, as well as a spindle finish for that finish pass only. So usually on a finishing cutter, we might run a little bit faster RPM, a little bit slower feed rate. All depends on the cutter that you're using, but now you guys have that full functionality in there. But now what I can do is, now that I switch my tool, I can come in here, I can put my offset at 0, my floor offset at 0, and tell it that I just want to finish the wall only. Save and calculate, and I'll kind of show you. So right now, it is doing a finish only, and it's looking at the step downs. So maybe on this finish pass, I don't want to have any step downs. That's right in our levels page. And instead of carrying over that 100th step down for that high feed mill, we can come in here and we can either put a 0.5 in there, or if you guys just want to put it at 0, save and calculate. And what it will do is it will come in there, and take that pass all in one cut for you. So this is definitely something that we didn't have the ability to do before. And a couple of you guys definitely noticed that. And so what would normally have to happen is you would have to create like a profile operation just to finish the wall only, as well as a separate pocket operation just to finish the floor. So now, if we go back to our technology here, if I turn off the finish wall only and do finish floor only, save and calculate here, you can see that it is just doing the floor finish now for us. As well as if we wanted that beautiful finish for the floor and the wall, we have that option, save and calculate. And now what it's doing is it's finishing the wall and the floor, so we can have that that nice finish in there. So like I said, this is something that wasn't in there for you guys before, but now you guys have that full option. Now this isn't going to be just for contour. If we switch it over to hatch, you'll get that same technology in there just for doing our finish floor or finish wall. Usually with hatcher, we'll just do finish floor only, but you guys do have that option there. Now, something that a lot of guys overlook is the compensation. So just kind of keep in reminder that's the compensation is generally on the technology page for you. So we do have the option to do a compensation for our roughing passes as well as our finishing passes for those regrind cutters and stuff like that. Oh, and I see Ronnie just came in here. Perfect. We were just talking about you. So now that ability, and I don't know when Ronnie hopped in here, but now that ability to do a finish only for our pocketed operation has been put in there. And I know Ronnie's been asking for this one for a while now, and got it in there finally for you. Any questions on the this first half here?
Nothing so far, Kev.
All right. So now let me page through my notes, making sure I'm grabbing everything. And like I said, definitely don't forget about the data for our spin finish here. So you guys do have that option for the finish as well, or for the RPM as well as for the XY operation there. Okay. So let me hop over, if we don't have any other questions, I'm gonna hop over a different part here. Tonight is gonna be a little bit of a shorter night class just because I thought this was gonna take more time to show you guys this, but I didn't want to try to pack a ton of information and rush through it like we did last year. All right. So the next thing what I want to show you guys here is, well, one is going to be the drag and drop stuff. So in last year or 2 years ago when we started the drag and drop, you guys can come over here and we can do drag and drop. But what ended up happening is if you guys have a ton of process templates or templates, anything like that, you got to be quite a bit to go through now. So now over in our tree, we can organize it by operation templates. So here's all my operation templates. If I wanted to add a new one, I can click on this button right here and I can browse to a completely different directory. So maybe if I'm going from you know, from inch to metric or from different machine to different machine or different post. So I can easily browse to those different areas now. And these are all saved off of your recents. So it's instead of having to come in here and click browse and try to go through all this documentation, what they have done is made it a lot simpler. So it keeps all your recents right here. So like I said, if we're bouncing from, you know, if you got your template set up by machine or by post processor or inch or metric, now you have the option to quickly come through here and change up your directory as well. Okay. You do have a couple of other options right here to tell it to choose a coordinate system or automatically add one in here. And they've just kind of cleaned up this so it's not so much going on in here. Now the next one over is our whole wizard process, which I'm going to show you next. And then our last one is to come in here and manage our templates. So this will browse to this location right here, and then we can come through and manage them as a larger pop-out screen to make it a little bit easier for you guys as well.
Kev, it sounds like it's kind of like the tool libraries. You can really set those up,
yes,
the drag and drop templates, really into what makes the most sense to you. You can do it per material, you could do it per machine, you could do it for whatever color shirt you're wearing on a particular day. Kind of sky's the limit, correct or no?
Yep, exactly. And that's, you know, for Greg and myself, we would really like to see you guys using the templates more, and not because, you know, hey, that's the new latest greatest thing, but the time savings that it's going to give you guys is going to be huge. So, you know, especially on those standard operations of, you know, maybe just profiling the outside of a part to, you know, as far as probing your part, you know, or face milling, there's no, to save you time, instead of recreating that operation over and over constantly, you know, all that time adds up for you. Where why not save it out as a template and then come and just click and drag it onto the face, and it will automatically ping it right to that face for you guys.
Kev, I had one guy put it to me this way. He'd been doing it for, you know, 20 years and wanted to bring a new guy on. And he said, Steve, you mean so I could really put my intelligence into a drag and drop template and get a guy that didn't have a ton of experience in the chair? He can drag that technology just to the part, and boom, he's off and running as if he had, of course, not 20 years experience, but he's not going to have to be asking questions about what to do on every little nuance. You know, it's like, hey, we know this works on our machines. We like to cut the material this way. Here's the strategy. Drag it to the part and away you go. Correct or no?
Absolutely, yeah. And what we're, you know, to your point there, Steve, what we're finding too is, you know, unfortunately, machining or machinists are getting harder and harder to come by now. So when they find something, you know, what we're seeing is, you know, engineers are starting to take over that role. And engineers, you know, they may not have the best knowledge on chip load or feed rate or, you know, what tool to use. So by setting up that template, they can just come over here. All right, well, I got a face mill operation, you know, click, drag it to that face, and there we go. I just got a face mill, and I know my feeds are good. I know my spindle RPM is good. It automatically grabbed my tool for me. It took the step downs. All that is already set for you. And if you guys are in that position, please give us a call on the support line, and we will definitely go through and set these up for you as well. So,
perfect.
All right, let me delete this face mill out of here. So the organization has definitely been a huge improvement, just because, like I said, between the operations templates and the process templates, there got to be a lot going on in there to try to fit it all in a fly-out menu. Now, to get to this, you know, if you guys click on your screen, you'll see that it automatically disappears. So if you need to get back to that, you can just click it out. And if you'd like it to stay out constantly, you can hit the little pin right here, and that would pin it. So no matter where I click now, it will stay out for me as well. So onto our next thing I'd like to tell you guys about for 2020 is the whole wizard process drag and drop. So this kind of goes back to not so much hitting the easy button, but it's pretty close to hitting the easy button. So you'll see that we're doing a bulkhead of a missile here, and we have a ton of holes. So we have some counterbore holes, got some tapped holes, we have some chamfered holes, some just standard drilling holes. Now, this will all applies if you use SolidWorks Hole Wizard. And what I mean by SolidWorks Hole Wizard is when this part was created in SolidWorks, that you guys use the Hole Wizard that is inside SolidWorks. Let me go to, I'll show you what I mean here. Edit this part. Features. So, where am I? Oh, right here. Hole Wizard right here. So using this function inside SolidWorks, what we can do is we can analyze all that data that is inside the Hole Wizard to the, like I said, just doing a simple hole to a reamed hole, all that stuff set up inside SolidWorks. And like I said, what SolidCAM will do is it will analyze all that data and create our a Hole Wizard. So if I wanted to come in here with our hole wizard and do all these holes, normally this would take quite some time to create all these different operations. Plus, you'll notice that these are all on different levels. So, you know, from there to here is all different levels throughout the entire part. So now what we can do is we can use our hole wizard and drag it right to the surface. And what it will do is it will analyze, like I said, it's going to analyze all the hole wizard features that were put in there by SolidWorks, and it will automatically add our spot drill, tap, end mills, anything that we need to accomplish those holes.
Well, utilizing the intelligence put into the model, Kevin.
Yeah,
so
yeah, there you go.
If your designers aren't using the hole wizard, you definitely want to get them going in that direction, because it'll really speed up the process. And it's one of the advantages of working inside of your CAD system, in that why spend the extra time? Somebody put the work in modeling the hole with the hole wizard in SolidWorks. Let us take that intelligence that was put into the model and make the programming faster.
Yep.
So
exactly. And you can see it's going through and it's adding all those operations. Like I said, all I had to do is just drag that right to a surface, and it's building my entire tree right here for us. So now I can come in here and you'll see that we're doing spot drill, counter bore, through holes. All this stuff has all been done automatically with adding tools in there. So you can, I forgot to show you guys this before I started, just to show you I wasn't cheating. But all the tools are all right there in my library, as well as the operations. Now, as good as Greg is, I mean, this would probably still take him, 20, 30 minutes, but, for someone that is extremely proficient, but like I said, with a matter of a minute, drag it to the surface and you're up and going. I was expecting.
Kevin, you didn't have to select the face on those lower pockets either?
Nope.
The whole part was just analyzed. Cool.
Yep. The entire part was analyzed based off of our Z coordinates, or a Z axis here. So anything that is, parallel with our Z axis here, it's going to pick up for us.
Nice.
So if we want to go ahead and simulate that here. So we're starting off doing the spot drill, the end mills. Now, and we talked about this in a later different night class, but you can go through and automatically sort these, so we can set it up so it does all the spot drills first. It does all the drillings first, and as well as that. So now, the cooler part is, let's kind of start over here. So I'm going to go through and delete everything we just did. All right, and I'm going to do a cleanup cam part to get rid of our tools. So now, let's say, like to Steve's point, instead of doing all these holes, maybe we just want to focus on one. So what I can do is, instead of doing drag to surface, now what I can do is come over here and drag to hole. Drag it right to the hole, and like I said, what it's doing is it's analyzing the hole wizard.
Analyzing the part for similar holes, Kev?
Yep, similar holes, exactly. So anything that is this exact size right here. So now it's doing the spot drill, counter bore, and the chamfer. So we can see that is done as well. So like I said, if you don't want to do the entire part and you just want to work on specific holes, you can do that as well. Okay. Now, you guys never run across a rev change, right? So let's just see what happens when we have a rev change come through. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change out this counter bore hole to be a simple, or just a drilled hole. So what I can do is, or this also works with family of parts, so it doesn't have to be a rev change. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in here and I'm going to do a change model reference. I'm going to go ahead and browse. to our rev change part. Open it up, hit the green check mark. Yep, we want to replace it. It's going to shut down and reopen with that new model in there. So you can see we don't have those counter bore holes anymore. Oh, one more time. So you can see we don't have those counter bore holes anymore. They're just simple drill holes. And it's telling me that my target needs to be updated. So all I have to do is come up here, do a synchronize, and see we still have counter bore. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 operations here. What it's going to do is the hole wizard has physically linked itself to that geometry, and what it will do is it will automatically change up the entire path for us, or the strategy for us. So now you can see that we had 5 operations, and now with the new model here, it automatically noticed that, all right, we changed that counter bore hole for a socket head cap screw to a M16 tapped hole. So it automatically changed up our operations and automatically updated our tool library as well. So you can see it got rid of any unused tools there, and it swapped them out with a spot drill, and tap now. So this just goes above and beyond the associativity that SolidCAM has with SolidWorks. Get some oohs and ahs. No.
I liked it. I liked it a lot. No, that's pretty cool, Kevin.
So yeah, and like I said, with this, rev changes to, a family of parts. If you use that hole wizard, like I said, it is 100% fully associative to look at the hole wizard that was created inside SolidWorks. So if I go to my M16 tapped holes, it noticed that it was tagged to it. And I'd love to tell you how they did that, but it blows my mind on how they were able to change those tags and still keep that associative that way, because we completely changed out our from a counter bore to a tap. But somewhere along the line, they got that one figured out there.
Beauty of working inside the CAD.
Yep. Taking advantage of SolidWorks the entire time.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Any questions on that, guys?
Quiet group. I'm not seeing anything, Kevin.
Yeah. All right. So I was thinking this was going to take us a full hour, but we definitely breezed through that way faster than I was thinking. So I don't have anything more for tonight. Like I said, is there any questions that...
Looks like one coming in.
Yep. Ronnie's always good for a couple.
I love it.
Did we lose Greg?
Not sure.
He's been on the quiet side.
Oh, I've been on mute. Yeah, I've got a question. In addition to the hole wizard, were you going to show the associativity that you get with regular drilling operations?
That is coming
along the
next.
same lines.
Yep. On the with the multi position for drill geometry.
Well, I'm just saying, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, where you pick up the face and it recognizes the number of features.
Yep. And that's where we're gonna cover that in the part 2 of the 2.5D for next week. Okay, so Ronnie asks, on the pocket, do you have to finish the wall if the floor goes to the wall? No. Nope. It will go right up to it. So if you're just looking for that pretty finish, more worried about that floor than the wall, you can just set the floor and it will go right up to that wall that you specify. Unless you put a offset in there, then it will not. It will stay away from that offset that you've set. question, Ronnie? Okay.
Yep.
Excellent. So, I wish I could keep going, but I just don't have my parts ready for you guys because I see you guys a whole bunch in here. But all right, we do have one here. Hey guys, the tool used for drilling is automatically created. Yes, it is automatically created. And just to kind of show that, let me get back over here.
Kev, that's a question too. Will it pick something out of your existing tool library or no?
Yep. So we can set it up so it will pick tools out of your existing tool library. Now, if that tool is not there, then what it will do is it will automatically add that tool in there for you.
One.
Yep.
Okay.
So, like I said, let's just delete what we did here. Yes. And I'm gonna go over to my tools. And let's delete. Yep. So let's say we already have these two tools in here, a drill and a tap. So now, something with the go-to meeting is messing up my mouse here. Save and exit. So just to show you, we go in here. I just got a drill and a tap. So now, if I drag to my hole, and it takes just a second to analyze the data. And you can see it automatically added that spot drill in there, our tool number 1. So if I go to my tools, you can see that it automatically added that spot drill in there for me. So to answer your question, yep, it will automatically add those tools in there, as well as pull from your library. And to get it to pull from your library, that is actually in your SolidCAM settings. And if we go to, you just got to remember where it is here.
Under tool search, under your machine process.
Oh, yeah, right here.
Hole wizard.
Yep, thank you, Greg. So if I come through and, so right now I have it searching for in my tool library to match up the tool number, the ID number, shank diameter, thread diameter. But if I'm not worried about, tool ID number, I can tell it, no, don't worry about searching for the tool ID. Just search for the diameter or the tip diameter, whatever you specify in here. Then it will look for that first in your library. And then if it's not there, it will go and generate that tool for you.
Literally, Kevin, make it on the fly, correct?
Yep. So, and as you guys can see that I did not go through and add that spot drill in there. It automatically, like Steve just said, it creates it right on the fly. So we got a question of, can you limit the number of tools you can work with? No, not right now, unfortunately. But if you do reach that point of, maybe in your carousel you only have 10 tools, but to do all these holes, let's just do it real quick. And go through and delete this real quick. Yes. And I'm going to do a cleanup cam part. So we start with no tools. I'll show you what we can do. So let's go ahead and drag the surface. And like I said, it just takes a second here. So I got the question of feeds and speeds for the hole wizard. So the hole wizard is going to be pulling feeds and speeds. If you tell it to look at your library, it's going to be pulling the feeds and speeds off of the tool that you specify in there. Now, if that tool is not there, it's going to go for the default feeds and speeds that are in your settings.
So if it builds a tool, Kevin, you do have to hop back in there and put in feeds and speeds, or no?
You will have to put some feeds and speeds in there. Like I said,
Okay.
There will be the default feeds and speeds in there.
Okay, cool.
For you. But if you want to change that up, then you would have to go in there and change that up itself.
Got it. Still saves you the hassle of having to build the tool, though,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
Cool.
Exactly.
Yep.
All right, so let me just go through. Let's press this. So, was it Jake? You were asking. So, maybe after I've ran these 10 operations, I need to go through, and I just can't fit all these tools in there. So, what you can do is you can actually right-click and do a split, and we can tell it to do a split after that operation, and we can say swap out tools. And what it will do is it will put a split in your program. So when we go to run this or generate the G code, it's going to split it up into 2 programs now instead of one long one. And then it will, that the second program will be to swap out your tools. So unfortunately, there's no way currently to look at your carousel to see how many tools are available. Now Jake, I'll definitely add that in as a feature request because, well, Greg, in the VMID, can you control how many carousel pots are there?
You can, yes.
So maybe what we can do is put that in as a feature request and then just limit it to the amount of pots that is defined in your VMID file for your post. So, great questions, guys.
No doubt.
That'd be cool. Yep. Like I said, as soon as I get off here, guys, I'll add that in there for you, Jake. And any ideas that comes up like that, definitely let me know. Because the old saying, "No question's a dumb question." Well, no idea is a dumb idea. So we'll definitely add that in there as long as it's within reason. Now, we have been asked to produce a post processor to automatically open up a beer bottle, but fortunately, that's a little out of our team.
Well, wait a minute. That might be in 2022, Kevin.
Yeah.
I like to turn on the coffee pot in the morning better, but
yeah.
That's
Well, a little behind the times there, Kevin. I think we've got those videos of that
wine
NCX
bottle.
1000
Well, we have the
real
wine
shape,
bottle.
so.
We can do it for a wine bottle. We just can't do it for a beer bottle. Okay, so great question, Lewis. So like what Steve was talking about, let me just get that pulled up here. With this, we're all in it together. On there is free online certification and instructions, or I can't think, training videos. So how to get to that point is if you guys open up your email, your internet, there's 2 different ways of going about this. You can go to solidcam.com, click on subscription, and go down to SolidCAM certification. And here are the tests, but if you just click on this tab right here, it will bring you over to a new web page. So this is the solidcam-certification.com. So it's a little different website. And if I get to the main page here, what you guys can do is come in here, create an account, and let's go to the exams here. So we have set up an associate's exam, which is a exam kind of testing you on the standard skills. We're just talking face mill, profile, all the basic 2.5D functionality. When we get into the professional, this is going to include some surfacing, some eye machining, as well as some index 4th axis. Now, the academic is kind of for our educational side of things. And for those of you guys that don't know, we give out free seats to any school. And this is a test that students can take to make sure they're following what their teacher says. But in this academic one is, it goes along with the academic book that's provided in there as well. Down lower here, we have a SolidCAM 2.5D training, which is a 5-minute video followed by 5 multiple choice questions. And that will kind of get you up to speed with the SolidCAM as well as turning training. Now, for these top 3 up here, when you guys pass that, you will get a certificate. And I'm going to put Greg on the spot. Greg, if you could Skype me just one of the certificates, and then I can show them. If you guys pass this, you guys will get a PDF document of your exam saying that you've passed it. Wait, sorry guys, I cannot think tonight, but award of achievement, no, not achievement, but just letting you know that you passed it. And if Greg can dig that up for me, I'll show you what that looks like here. But
can be a nice resume builder, Kevin,
exactly.
right?
Yep.
Yeah.
So what we wanted to do is SolidWorks has the certification center. Myself and a couple other guys on our team have been certified through SolidWorks, and we wanted to extend that opportunity for you guys, like to what Steve is saying, to build that resume. Now, currently, you do have to pay for these, or I'm sorry, in the past you had to pay for these, but with the coronavirus going around right now, we realize there's a lot of people at home. Some are able to work from home, but some that are not. So to go along with that free 60-day license, you guys can come in here and better your skills for free. So that's a great place to come in here. And it is, let me just log in real quick here.
Captain Morgan.
Yeah.
Captain Morgan, I'm sure.
If I can remember my password. All right, so this is what it will look like for you guys. So once you create an account, you can go to enroll and purchase. So let's say we want to do a associate's exam. And like I said, don't look at the price because these are all free for you now. So click on that. You'll come and it's telling you what you're going to be, kind of what's being covered there. We can click add to cart. And you can see I have a training one in there. Now for the coupon code to get a free test of whatever you guys would like is Greg. I just had it. It is, sorry guys. Let me just see here. I just sent it to somebody. Is it you, Steve?
Wasn't me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm hoping you didn't call it coronavirus.
No.
That's all I'm hoping.
No, it's Get My Cert 2020.
So Get My Cert 2020. And let me just move this over. Oh, sorry. It is. I'll put this in the title too for you guys. Get My Cert 2020. Apply coupon. And you'll see that it automatically took off putting that test for free for you guys. So now if you come in here, go to proceed to checkout. It'll ask you your name, all that. Continue, place order. And once you have placed that order, now you can go over to current course progress. And we can click on the associates. And you'll see that right here, I can click on the exam. Here's what it's covering. And as soon as I start my exam, it's going to start a timer for you and give you all the requirements of what you need to do to start programming this part. So, and Greg thankfully came through for me. Let me do shown folder here. So this is what one of the certificates look like. So it tells you that you have passed the Certified SolidCAM Associates test, your name, when it was put on there, and then Sean, our CO, and Emil, which is our CEO and owner of the company. So pretty cool. And like Steve said, it's a great resume builder, but going through these tests, you will actually learn quite a bit as well. So if you guys want, definitely feel free to take those. And if you guys do take it, just shoot myself an email and let me know that you've taken it. That way, because we have a lot of tests to go through and sort out. So just let me know that you've taken it, and then we can get that graded right away for you guys. So does that help answer your question there, Lewis? Hopefully.
Good deal.
All right. Any other questions? Excellent. Perfect. Love seeing all these questions coming through. So, all right. So with that being said, I don't see anything else coming through. So next week we will be covering the second half of the 2.5D, which is going to be covering some of the new chamfer recognition, grabbing holes like what Greg was talking about, the improvement that they've done with the drill geometry with the multi-position, as well as different chaining options that they've added in there with open edges, as well as some profile synchronization that they've also changed up for you guys too. So, well, everyone, don't see any other questions. Just want to thank you for joining the night class tonight. These are every Tuesday night, as long as we're Greg or myself aren't traveling, and with nowadays traveling has come to a halt, so on-site training is not happening. But like I said, every Tuesday night, and if you guys want to see some or have some ideas, send those over to me in an email, and I'll definitely add those in there as well. The way the class lineup is looking is, so next week we'll be doing part 2, and then April 21st. I think we have a skip date in here. I have to add that in there. That's going to be iMachining, what's new in iMachine, and then covering HSM, and then HSS and 5-axis. And then for those of you guys who have been watching for a while, then we'll get back into our going through our 2.5D stuff that we were talking about before the what's new in 2020. So, all right, just beautiful. Everyone stay healthy out there, and just let us know how we can help you guys out through this. And thanks for joining. All right, guys.
Stay well, everyone. See ya. Bye.